So as we know, new holds one reference to this instance of example. One thing to note is there are different types of references. This is a strong reference, but we could also have a weak reference, or we can have an unowned reference. The rule about strong references is as long as there is at least one strong reference to an instance of a class, that instance will not be deallocated. And this is a good thing because if your code tries to access something that has been deallocated, your program is going to crash. For example, if you made this an optional example, and then we gave this one a property, so var count, don't know what it's counting, but it's counting something, and we'll make it an int set to 0, and let's say new.count equals 1, and then we deallocate new, set it to nil, and then we try to access the count by printing it. Now keep in mind, new is nil, and because of optional chaining, if any value to the left of the last value is nil, then the result will be nil and it won't crash. Alright, now let's say we have a class called person, and we're going to declare it like so. Person can have a name, or does have a name, they have to have a name, and the initializer will be giving a value to that name. So I'm just going to scoot this over, and self.name equals name print. Now I'm going to create three properties called reference1, person. It's going to be of type optional person, which means it's going to have an initial value of nil, because when you declare a value that has an optional type and you don't give it a value, it automatically gets nil. And I can prove this below by printing any of the references. Reference 1, reference 2, and reference 3. They're all going to be nil. Yep, nil, nil, nil. Now let's give a value to the first reference. So we're going to say reference 1 equals person, and we're going to give it a name, John Appleseed. And you'll notice John Appleseed is being initialized. So if we bring up Sketch, I'm going to show you. So now we have a reference to the person. This is automatically a strong reference, and so this instance of a person will not be deallocated or taken out of memory. The instance above has one strong reference. Now let's assign the same instance to the reference 2 and 3. So reference 2 equals reference 1, and the instance above has two strong references. Now let's do the same for reference 3. So reference 3 is being assigned the value at reference 1, and so the instance, and I should say on line 18, has three strong references. And I'm actually going to do something a little cute. I'm going to say this is the instance, just to make it clear that this is the instance, not the whole line, and this is just a reference to it. It's actually a layer of indirection. This is the name that's associated with a reference, which is more not memorable. It's numbers mixed with letters, ways of defining the address in memory, and they're not always friendly for human eyes. Now we have two more references, so I'm going to update our image. And so we have three strong references to person, so it's definitely three references away from being deallocated. Once those 3 references are taken away, automatic reference counting will notice that the number of references to this person will be 0, and then it will deallocate the person. So I'm going to go ahead and set these references to nil and thereby deallocate that person instance. When reference 3 is set to nil, it's taken away, and so the strong reference count to person is 2, and now we're going to do reference 2 equals nil, and the strong reference count to person is 1, and reference 1 equals nil. Now I'm going to take that away, and the strong reference count to person is 0, and then automatic memory management deallocates the person.